What do you got for us today?
Well, actually, I'm open to any questions you have for me.
Well, that's kind of interesting because this is a call-in show, and the question we ask is, what do you believe, and why do you believe it?
I believe in God, obviously.
Okay, why? And you probably have to define God, because there's thousands of different versions of Christianity that disagree on everything. But
so
give us a rough description of the God you believe in, and then you can explain why.
Okay. Well, God is the one who created the whole universe, who created you and me, and He is the only God that I know that has a son. Besides Greek mythology. But anyways,
so we're already into really weird territory, because you say that God is the only God you know of that has a son. How many gods do you know of?
I don't believe in any other gods, but there's other gods that are considered gods, but they're actually false gods.
Okay. How did you determine that yours is the true God and that the other gods are false gods?
Because they're not real. They're actually...
Seriously? They're not real. That's how you determined it. How did you determine yours was real? See, the question had two parts of why do you not believe these other gods and why do you believe this?
Yeah.
And if your reason for believing this is because the other ones are wrong, that's a fallacy.
Yes.
Okay.
You're right.
So...
Well, with the way I explain it, yes.
So why do you believe?
Well, number one, it starts with faith. And two...
Why would you believe anything? We're done at number one. We're done at number one. Why would you believe anything?
Faith is a good way to be wrong.
It's already acknowledged that faith can lead you to Yahweh and can lead me to Zeus or any of 100 other gods. If faith can lead to any of those conclusions, then how is it a reliable pathway to truth if it can lead me? By the way, let's say there's 1,000 different proposed gods and only one of them's real, and we can use faith to get to any of them. Then you've got a 1 in 1,000 shot, which is way worse than a coin toss, of getting the correct position based on faith, right?
But there's tens of thousands of gods.
So now does that demonstrate that faith is not a reliable path to truth?
Well, there's also proof. You have proof also.
Hang on.
Just let's finish this point, and then we can move on to the next one.
I'll let you go. I'm not just going to hang up as soon as you acknowledge that faith is a crappy path to truth. I just would like you to acknowledge that the argument's been made and that you agree with it.
Okay.
So is faith a reliable pathway to truth?
To some, no. But to others, yes.
Why are we hedging here?
No, we're done. I promised I would let you go on, but all right. So faith can sometimes lead you to truth.
Correct.
And faith can sometimes lead you to something that's not true.
Yes.
Which means that faith is not a reliable path to truth, right?
You can't just rule faith out like that, though.
The fuck you can't.
Okay.
I'm sorry that logic demolishes your position.
Hey, listen to me though. If you turn on your phone,
my phone's on.
It turns on. Okay, but why do you think the phone will turn on though?
Because it did the last 10 million times you turned it on.
Yeah.
But how do you know for sure it's going to turn on?
You don't know for sure. You don't know anything for sure. When I push the button,
what do you have?
Carl, when I push the button on my phone, I'm not in any way saying I know for sure this phone will turn on. Because you know what? Sometimes it doesn't. So you want to use this example of how do you know your phone's going to turn on? Well, I'm not saying that I know my phone's going to turn on if you require absolute certainty. What I'm saying is, based on all the information I have, there's a very strong likelihood that my phone will turn on. And you know what? When it doesn't turn on, I don't go, it's a miracle. I can demonstrate that my phone turns on at least once. I can demonstrate that it turns on repeatedly. I can put together a probabilistic assessment of my phone. Can we do any such thing for God?
You're comparing natural things with supernatural things.
No,
so they don't
I
go
asked
together.
a question. Can I do any such thing for God?
What was the question again? I'm focused on what I have to say. So
your answer is no, which is why you objected by saying I'm comparing natural things to supernatural things. But here's the dirty little secret, Carl. I didn't bring up the phone. You did. You're the one that is trying to falsely compare supernatural things to natural things, as if there's no distinction, as if the faith in the God belief is the same as the faith that I'm turning my phone on. And that is a false equivalency. You called us, and you believe. And you begin with a belief based on faith. And you acknowledge
Yeah.
that faith isn't a path to truth, and you acknowledge that we haven't demonstrated that a God believed. And when asked what reason you have for believing it, you go back to faith. Do you not see the problem there?
I see the problem with your understanding.
Okay. What's the problem with my understanding then, since you see that?
Okay. So if I pray to a God, you know, through my faith, if I pray to God and my prayer doesn't get answered, should I be discouraged? Or if your phone doesn't turn on, should you be discouraged that your phone doesn't turn on?
How is that in any way an explanation? How is this an explanation of what I don't understand, Carl?
Do what?
How is this an explanation? You said you see my failure in understanding, and I asked you what that was. And you begin with, if I pray and I don't get an answer, should I be discouraged? How is that in any way an explanation of what I don't understand?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Thanks, Carl.